Hey everyone, welcome back to the Oh How Healthy podcast. I am so happy you're here. It's always so nice to have you join me. So today we are talking about 5 ways that you can ditch late night snacking for good. I get this question often, especially from my Oh How Healthy insiders who will commonly, every single Wednesday we have our coaching call, and I always prompt the girls. I'll say, if anyone has any questions, please share here, and then we address it during the coaching call. And so I get this question a lot: late night snacking, what to do about it, and how to really resolve it for good. So in this podcast, I share with you the 5 responses we always go back to, and really, so what causes the late night snacking and then how to deal with it. Because I feel like both elements are essential. And this podcast is a recording from my Facebook Live. So if you're not already in my Facebook group, please join. We would love to have you. It's called Healthy Weight Loss Tips for Busy Women. So this is a recording from there. So if you hear me, addressing anyone in the group, that is what's going on. So please enjoy and let me know what you think after the show. Hey everyone, how are you? All right, so I have my mic here. I'm recording the podcast, the Oh How Healthy podcast as we go here. So if any of you, who don't have time to watch these videos, I have all of this on audio. This is why I have the podcast. I have it because I know you're busy moms. You, maybe you're teachers, you're on the go. You just don't always have the time to sit in front of a video and watch a video. So that's exactly why I record the video, because I know for myself even, as much as I would love to sit and watch videos and, if even things that I really want to see, webinars that I want to learn about, I don't always have the time to do that. So I'm more of an audio person. I always have headphones in my ears. And so that's why I have the podcast available to you. So you can just go in the little iTunes app on your phone. You can search it on Spotify, the Oh How Healthy podcast, and you can catch any of these videos over there. So anyway, today we're talking about the 5 most common reasons that we overeat at night and what to do about it. So I hear this a lot. This is a question that comes up in my Oh How Healthy Insiders group a lot. What do I do about overeating at night? How do I stop it? What can I do about it? So we're going to talk about what the 5 most common reasons are, what they are, and then how to stop them, right? Because I think that it's important to know why things are happening, and also what to do about it, obviously. But instead of just always working on the what and okay, how can I fix this? How can I fix this? Figuring out the why underneath it all, so we can truly eliminate the things that are going on. So anyway, we're going to talk about those 5 reasons. And I don't think that I added the title to the live here. So if someone wants to leave a comment and just say, the 5 most common reasons that leads to late night eating, that would be helpful. But I will add it after the fact as well. I just wanted to make it clear that it doesn't necessarily matter, because I get the question a lot too. Will, eating at night cause more belly fat, or will eating at night cause me to gain more weight? And that's not necessarily the case ever, because the thing is, it doesn't matter if you're eating at night or in the morning. All that matters is that what weight loss or weight gain inevitably comes down to is how much are we consuming versus how much are we burning. So the problem with eating at night is that we have less time to burn it off, right? Because we're eating and then we're going to sleep. And yes, we do burn calories while we're sleeping, but not as much as during the day. When we have a breakfast and we have the rest of the day to work it off, or even dinner around 5, 6, 7 at night, and then we have the rest of the evening to kind of work that off in addition to sleeping it off. So that's one reason why. And another reason is that we don't always make the best choices at night. Typically when we're eating at night, we're maybe snacking on something less than healthy. Maybe we're grabbing fast food. So that's another reason why we're not, we may be a little more sleepy. We're not just making the smartest choices. So that's why eating at night may not be the best option. And I also wanted to make it clear that I'm not necessarily talking about people who, work overnight or have a schedule that's a little bit off, because I understand in those situations, you kind of have to eat at night, right? Because you have an overnight shift, or you just got off of work at 9 p.m. and you need to eat. So in those situations, there is going to be a little bit of a different scenario, and you can ask me, a private message, or, send me something and I can get back to you on tips that you can do for that. But I'm just talking today about the average person who, works or, is active during the day and, can have the opportunity to have 3 square meals and still is choosing to snack at night. So that's what we're talking about today. And I also, if this is you, just know that you're not alone. Like, late night snacking is very common for a lot of people, especially women. And so you're not alone, okay? So you are not alone. It's very, very common. So I'm going to dive right into this. I'm going to share the 5 most common things that lead to late night snacking. And number 1, I always, resort to this one first, is maybe you're not eating enough during the day. And this is easily overlooked because we always kind of think that we are eating enough, or, but when we're not tracking or not becoming aware of how much or how little we're actually eating, it can be, kind of eye-opening. So for example, maybe you're someone who just is not really into eating breakfast, and you just, you wake up, you have coffee, lunch while at work, you're kind of busy, you may have a couple bites of this and that, and all the while you're not really that hungry, and then dinner comes, maybe you're getting the kids, getting food for them. So it can easily add up that you're just not eating enough during the day, which causes not only like unhealthy food choices, right, where you're just like ravenous and like a bag of French fries passes your nose and you're like, give me all the French fries. But this can lead to late night snacking. So maybe you think like, oh, I had, a croissant with my coffee. I had like a couple bites of cheese and crackers with my lunch, and I had a little bit of dinner. And all the while, you're kind of thinking you had enough. But ultimately, the fact of the matter is you might not have had enough calories, or you just might not have had enough nutrition in your body. So your body is very intelligent. It's always like speaking to you, always telling you something. So when you're hungry, it might just need some added nutrition in your body, and you are probably just hungry because you just didn't eat enough during the day. So that this can easily add up, and the best way to do that is really just to try to keep like a mini food journal. I know tracking food is not always that fun, but this can be really helpful. And even if you just plan for like 3 mini meals to have, because I know a lot of people, I hear from a lot of women that you're not hungry during the day. So you're not hungry when you wake up. And, the solution to that is just, it's going to be better for your metabolism in the long run to just get something in your belly to start to, start up your metabolism. So even if you're just a coffee drinker in the morning, maybe you can add a scoop of protein to your coffee. Maybe you can make a frozen coffee drink, right? I have this recipe that I can share with you if you would like, that has coffee, almond milk, protein powder, ice. Like it tastes like a frappuccino, really, and you're getting. It tastes like, it's like a breakfast shake almost, and it tastes like a frappuccino. So there's easy ways to sneak it in, even if you don't feel like having, like, I know everyone doesn't always feel like having eggs or oatmeal, and it can be boring, and you're just not hungry, you're in a rush, you don't have the time. So just try to get anything in, and try to plan your meals to have like 3 square meals. Make sure that you're having enough calories in those meals. Make sure those meals are pretty nutrient dense, has a good amount of, a balanced plate. So you have your veggies, you have some protein on there, you have some dairy on there, you have so maybe you're snacking on some fruit. So it's just a balanced kind of thing instead of just having a piece of fruit for breakfast. So that's kind of the difference there. So that's number 1. All right, I wanted to take a brief intermission because I wanted to let you know that if you enjoy the show, if you enjoy this podcast, if you enjoy any of my content and you kind of want to take it to the next level, there is a way for you to do that. There is a way for you to work with me for as little as $49, guys. You know, I used to do one-on-one coaching with my girls, but I found the essence of what they needed, and what it was done for you meal plans, done for you shopping lists, done for you cooking demos, meal prep parties, challenges. So all of that I created for you, and I bundled it all together, and with the smallest little price tag of $49, and actually included in that is a challenge where you can win a $50 cash prize. So it's kind of a no-brainer. It's really, you know, my philosophy is keep it simple, keep it healthy, keep it tasty, keep it fast, and because guess what? No one has time for all that fancy stuff. So that's what I'm all about. If you're interested in grabbing monthly meal plans, monthly shopping lists, monthly cooking demos, meal prep parties, weekly coaching, and so much more, head on over to ohhowhealthy.com/insiders. And over there, you'll be able to see what's inside, what you can get, how you can get it, and how you can join the group ASAP. So get your little booty over there, and I'll see you soon. Number two, kind of to go along with that, is you're just not drinking enough water. You might just be dehydrated. And, sometimes thirst is commonly mistaken for hunger. So when you think that you're hungry, you're really just thirsty. And this happens to me all the time because late at night especially, I try to do a cardio kickboxing class at night. And after I get done the class, because the class starts around 7:15, and I get done the class around 8:15, and I'm like, you know what, I feel like I'm hungry, and I feel like I want to eat maybe something cold and refreshing, maybe like a yogurt with some fruit or something, and I'm like, you know what, I guarantee you I am just dehydrated. So I'll make sure that I drink plenty of water, and then you can check in with yourself again. Check in 10, 15 minutes later, half an hour later. Am I still hungry? And who cares if it's 9 o'clock at night? If you really are hungry, you can choose to eat something, or you can choose to just, hold off until breakfast, as long as you made sure you had enough during the day. So that's one that gets me all the time. And a way to check that you're drinking enough water is to aim to drink half of your body weight in ounces a day. So if you are a 200-pound person, you want to aim to drink 100 ounces of water, okay, a day. And, if you're drinking one bottle of water and you're just drinking 16 ounces of water a day, maybe don't jump to, 100 ounces. Just go with 2 bottles of water. So it's just slow and steady wins the race here. So that's the second point. Just make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure you're eating enough throughout the day. And then point number 3 is it a habit that you're eating at night, right? Maybe it's your thing, right? You just got done work. You just got, the kids are in bed. And you're like, I am gonna, I like to sit on the couch, I like to watch my shows, and I like to snack, or I like to have a glass of wine, or I like to do, have some popcorn, or, whatever it is. So is it by habit that you're eating at night? And this is a very common thing. And if that's you, and if you thoroughly enjoy it, and if you budget it into your, your daily intake of food, and it works for you, then that's totally fine. But I'm mainly speaking to the person who maybe is not too happy with that choice that they're making, and kind of wants to stop that. So if that's you, what I would like to share with you is maybe popcorn is your thing, right? And you just like to sit down with a big thing of popcorn, because, guys, we all do this. We've all done this. And you're sitting with a big thing of popcorn, and what you can do instead is just, maybe put it into baggies, maybe pour some into a bowl and then pack some away for later. I know popcorn doesn't really last, long, but maybe you can give some to your spouse. Or is it your spouse that's eating these things and kind of causing the bad habit, right? Because I know how that is too, right? If your spouse is sitting there eating and you're like, give me some of that. I would like some of that. And so that's the habit. Maybe you can opt to not have what they're having. Maybe you can, have something healthier if you are still hungry, or maybe you can just say, have some willpower and not have it, or distract yourself, maybe take out a book, maybe not while you're watching a show, maybe you can, can have a sparkling water, right? Something like that. Go take a bath, go relax yourself, and just check in with yourself. Are you really hungry? What's going on? Do you literally physically ask yourself these questions? Yeah, so that actually ties into my next point. Are you bored? So are you bored, or are you procrastinating, right? Because when we're bored, we tend to want to open the pantry 5 different times, open the refrigerator, what's here, maybe just grab a handful of chocolate chips, or, a handful of whatever it is. So it could just be boredom that is causing that as well. And procrastination, this is a big one, and I actually recorded a whole podcast episode on this. So procrastination can be something that could be causing late night snacking, because maybe you are, let's say you just have a lot of work to catch up on. Maybe you have a side hustle, maybe you're catching up on laundry, maybe you're, catching up on schoolwork, whatever it is for you, and you're just saving that work for the end of the day because that's the only time you have to fit it in. So the problem is with procrastination is when we're up late doing things and, that really could be your only time to fit it in, we tend to, we're tired at that time. And we're also, it's late. So it's not always the best time to do a task, because that one task could take us much longer to finish at night, because we have almost unlimited amount of time, in quotation marks, because really you don't have a finite amount of time that you're setting for yourself, unless you are, in which case, and if you're really efficient like that, then that's going to work. But what I find is that if I save a task for, let's say 7, 8, 9 p.m. and I'm I really have to get this done before tomorrow, I spend much more time doing it. I'm going to be up until probably midnight, maybe later. During that time, I'm going to be, feeling overwhelmed, feeling not experiencing the best emotion. So I might go into the refrigerator, I might grab a snack, I might have a glass of wine, and it's just adding to the late night snacking. So what I recommend you to do, if that's you and you really have things to get done, I would say get to bed 9, 10 o'clock, wake up early. Wake up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. And because really, what's the difference? You're missing out on the sleep anyway. So why not miss out on the sleep in the morning versus at night? Because in the morning, you better get that done within 1 or 2 or 3 hours versus 4 or 5 hours at night, right? So that's something that I noticed that especially I was doing a lot. And I find that a lot of the women who just tell me that they have to get these certain tasks done, or they're in school and they just need to get it done. And so that has been really, really helpful to get to bed, to make sure you're getting an adequate amount of sleep, and just saving that task for the morning where you're a little bit sharper, where you may have a cup of coffee, where you're just focused and in the zone, have a timer set, and you need to get it done in a certain time. And so the last point is tired, right? We are just tired. At night, you're exhausted. You had a long day of work, you had a long day of doing things, and your energy is low. So our best source of energy sometimes, most of the time, food is energy. That's how our body gets energy, from food. So our body is going to start to crave food and want to eat, and especially sweet things. So if you're a sweet tooth craver, this could very well be your downfall here, is that you're not getting enough sleep. Even if you're craving throughout the day, craving sweets a lot throughout the day, this could very well be it, because you're not getting proper rest, and your body knows how to get that little bursts of energy, and it's through sugar and it's through food. So I would focus on trying to increase your sleep however you can. Maybe it's 15 minutes at night, maybe it's 15 minutes in the morning, whatever you can do to get proper sleep. And as annoying as it can be, sometimes tracking your sleep can be helpful. Tracking your food can be helpful. Tracking your hydration can be helpful. And it's helpful because we we sometimes think and assume that we're getting enough of something, but in reality, we're not. So try, and you don't have to do it for a long time. I mean, just practice getting, tracking for a week or a day or a couple days, and you would be really surprised as to what comes up and how much you can really come to terms with what is actually going on. And like I said before, ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself the silly question: am I actually hungry right now? Am I really just thirsty? We kind of know that difference, right? And if you don't know the difference, try drinking a glass of water, a tall 10-ounce, 16-ounce glass of water, wait 10, 15 minutes, and then go back and check in with yourself again. And by creating these habits, you're really going to see a big result at the end instead of dealing with the late night snacking, because I know that this can continue for years and years and years. So we're going to try to nip it in the butt, and we are going to get ahead of it, right? Because we are very powerful and influential beings, right? So we can do this. I'm here to help you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I hope that this was helpful to you. I would love to hear if it was, and I will talk to all of you very, very soon. All right, so I hope you love this episode. I hope it was helpful for you. And if it was, like I said in the beginning of this episode, this is a Facebook Live recording. So I would love to see you join that community on Facebook. It's called the Healthy Weight Loss Tips for Busy Women. And so around the time that this podcast is released, there is always a thread that is created inside the group if anyone wanted to continue conversation over there. So if you wanted me to elaborate on any points, if you wanted to ask me any additional questions, if you tried something before, I would love to hear from you. So head on over to that group, let me know your thoughts, and I will catch you all in the next episode.